Hey everyone, Aaron here, and this is review number 90. And today we're talking about Shining Hearts, Shiwaze no Pan, or translation, Bread of Happiness. That title is just Bread of Happiness. Anyways, so Shining Hearts, if you guys don't know, is actually a very old running franchise in Japan. And we have a few of the games out here in America, but it is Japanese RPGs that came out that are kind of esoteric. Where you look at them from over the top perspective, all like Diablo or stuff like that, where you hack and slash your way, you level up, you gain your equipment, loots, etc., etc. And I've played a few of them. I've always been a fan of Shining Hearts because they're actually pretty fun games. They're not too bad. They're not the greatest, I think, JRPGs, even though they're long running franchises in Japan, but they are fun to play, and they're very unique and also very, very rare. I like finding them now is a pain in the butt. So if you ever want to collect those for the PS2 and all that, good luck. I wish you luck because I think I owned one of them, and the second, and I sold originally the first one a long time ago. When I was younger, and the first one is a little easy to find, but it's not that much easier to find. The second one, I don't even think I've seen it on maybe it's on Amazon, but I haven't seen it recently. But anyways, though, let's talk about the anime. That's what we're here for. So the anime actually, I'm gonna point this out right here, has very little to do with the actual games. It has the character names for some of them and the character models for some of them, but it does not have anything to particular. It's like its own standalone story, its own standalone concepts and characters. So I just want to point that out and tell you guys that. But the main concept is that our main character Rick, who is the only male for like protagonist, I want to say, is an amnesiac who has no memories. He washed up on shore, and three young sisters actually found him and were able to save him and kind of bring him back to health and restore his energy and vitality. And they are all workers at a bread shop, which, by the way, the title kind of made that obvious. But they all work at a bread shop, and Rick, not having any memories and not having much to do with anything, he goes, well, I might as well work for here too. Now, it doesn't sound very interesting, does it? Honestly, that's about as interesting as it gets in the beginning. The first like several episodes of Shining Hearts, Bread of Happiness. I hate saying that title. Um, the first couple episodes of it, actually, honest truth, are not fun to watch. It's actually a chore to watch the show. I remember I watched it fully. It took me, I think, over the course of a month to watch the show because honestly, I would watch one or two episodes and then just be utterly bored to watch it. I could not stand watching episode after episode. Like, this is not a show you can binge watch. Even if you're one of those people that likes binge watching shows, I'll I'll be like, wow, I'll be impressed if you can binge watch more than a few episodes of this. Really, honest truth. By episode, I want to believe like 5 or 6. I want to say is when the show picks up and you actually start getting some action sequences of the show. And I'm being honest with you, the action of the show is pretty good. Rick, who will then kind of realize his true latent power inside of him, will actually be able to fight everyone and actually is pretty strong and capable of the sword because his memories will start returning to him. But until those moments, what you're going to have with this show is more so comedy and a little bit of slice of life action. You're not going to have anything per se with action or, you know, anything emotionally enthralling. And by the way, that is a garbage truck. If you can hear that, I apologize. But you're not going to have anything enthralling into the story until by like episode 5 or 6. In the end, though, is what I'm going to say right now is it just kind of goes back to its roots. Like, this show, once it starts picking up, doesn't know if it wants to stay an action show or drama. It kind of wants to go right back to the whole let's just make comedy and let's make bread. I'll tell you right now, the first 2 episodes alone are going to be the main characters talking about making bread and selling it to various people. I kid you not. That is the first 2 episodes, and it's not cutesy the way it's done, nor is it fun to watch. It's just there. This is going to be a really short review because Shining Hearts, Bread of Happiness, to me, if I had to review it A through F, gets a D. I'm being generous by giving it a D. I give it a passing score because the action is good, the animation's nice, the character designs are actually pretty cool too. I like the character designs for everyone. They've been done before, but they look very good with the show. The show's very colorful and has nice colors yet, and such like that. But overall, though, everything else falls to the wayside. The story is very cliche. You've seen it before in other anime movies. You can name it. You've probably seen it somewhere before done better. The animation, even though it is nice with the character designs and such, is not that great. It's not. This is not an old show, but it is. I think roughly 2012. And that's a problem when you have to actually guess what year this came out in, because it does not look like a 2012 animation. This looks like something that would be barely passable in 2004 or 2005. That's how my opinion is. And I hate being someone that rants and raves about an anime that's not that great. But Shining Hearts, Bread of Happiness, God, that title, man. Um, it's just a show that it could have been better if it was maybe a little bit more focused on the characters and had a little bit more action in it. Not to say that a show needs action to be better, but a show like this needs a little bit more going for it than besides the oh, let's make bread and let's be happy and let's sell bread. If that makes sense, I'm serious. That's what they do in the show, and I mean even the ending. I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but just think about the first couple episodes and you realize that's what the ending's gonna essentially be about. You know, the female protagonists are all forgettable. That and no character actually grows. Like Rick as a main character is an amnesiac, which already kind of gives me an issue because I don't like amnesiac main characters. I've said this before. It's not a bad thing per se, but if it's not done well, it makes the whole show kind of teeter off these. Oh, let's just go off the train that he doesn't remember anything, so thus we'll make his character progression him getting his memories back. And that's kind of weak. I think from a story perspective, that's weak. But overall, though, even when he does get his memories back, he doesn't grow as a character. Doesn't get any different. You can guess this whole show and how it's going to go down from the gate when they introduce the first major enemy. You can go, I know who's gonna live, I know who's gonna die, and I know what's gonna happen. And that's why the show gets such a low score. Again, a D. I really want to give it even lower, but it does have some saving graces. The voice acting, Japanese wise, I know this has English voice acting, but I've never seen this in English. Japanese wise was perfect. I had no issues with it. All the characters are cutesy. They look cutesy the way they are, and they sound very well done. But just overall, it's not a show that I recommend to watch at all. I'd say avoid it if you can. If you really are a huge diehard fan of the show or the video games franchise, stay away from it still, because it's not like the video game franchise. And yeah, just avoid the show. I'm being honest with you guys. Just avoid the show like the plague. Pretend like it doesn't exist. Pretend like my review was a figment of your imagination. Anyways, though, guys, I hope you like this review, even though I ranted and raved a little bit at the end. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out a lot. Tomorrow I should be reviewing something that's a little bit better, hopefully. And anyways, until our paths cross again in the next review, have a good one, everyone. Bye.